Hey everybody, I wanted to hop on here today and talk about my mental health journey and how I finally got to a proper diagnosis of bipolar disorder. So, I knew I had something going on from an early age. I knew from like 12 to 13 years old I had some type of mental disorder. I knew I wasn't 100% correct like my friends were. Um, and I didn't reach out to a counselor or anything. I just kind of went with the punches because I didn't want to be labeled. And that was a big fear of mine for a long, long time. Is I do not want to be labeled as someone who is crazy. So life went on, and I enlisted in the military. Went through all the, requirements for that. I got to boot camp and got discharged because I have like stress-induced anxiety. Okay, so that's like when I was 18 years old. So I knew something around 12 years old, waited 6 years, and then got diagnosed with anxiety. So that was the first diagnosis that I've received, which is an accurate one. I do have anxiety, stress-induced, day-to-day anxiety, just anxiety in general. After I got discharged, though, I was pretty down in the slums. Got very depressed, and still didn't reach out to a doctor. Just coped with, either drinking or going out and partying with my friends. Then I got pregnant with my son and went through that whole euphoria stage. Life was great. Minus the pain and agony of pregnancy, which is for another day. I can tell you my whole pregnancy story if you want. It was a very beautiful and harsh at the same time. Anyway, after my son was born, that is when I seeked out help through my primary care doctor. I knew something was wrong at that point. They did an evaluation and they diagnosed me with major depressive disorder, which was a false diagnosis. But I tried every antidepressant out there and it would make me feel like a zombie. And I feel like this happens a lot. People get misdiagnosed a lot and then they get put on a medication that just doesn't do anything for them. So they sit there and they feel like they're a lost cause, because that's what I felt like. I just felt like a lost cause and there was no helping me. Now, my doctor did refer me out to a psychiatrist, but because of me being bipolar, which I did not know at the time, I would get the phone call, make the appointment, not show. Because I'm like, oh, I'm doing great now. I don't need to see a psychiatrist. So I would go through many phases like that. And then the very last time I went and spoke to my doctor and she referred me out to a psychiatrist, I knew at that point it was not depression. I said, this has to be something else. I think I have adult ADHD. Which didn't explain the down periods of what I know now as my bipolar disorder. But I was like, I just can't focus. I just can't function as an adult. I have ADHD, which, bipolar disorder and ADHD, they do have a lot of things in common. So I was like, yeah, that's it. So I went and I saw a psychiatrist so I could get a prescription, obviously, to help with the ADHD that I thought I had. Well, after about an hour of speaking to the psychiatrist, she looked me dead in the eyes. She was like, you have bipolar disorder 2. There's different types. And I was like, that makes so much sense. She started breaking it down to me. And if you watched my first video, I explained how the gas tank, you have, I was on empty or I was on full. I was never at half a tank, which is where you want to be. So it just made so much sense. And now I'm finally on medication for the disorder that I actually have. And I'm slowly but surely getting my life back together from years and years and years of just not knowing what was going on mentally, trying medications that just never worked. And that's why it's so important, if you have mental health issues, to go and talk to someone who knows what they're talking about, who has studied in it. And that way you know what you have and how to manage it. And then having a support system that you can talk to them like, listen, I'm having a bad day. I'm having a down day. I just need to be left alone, or I just need to talk to someone. I need to get this off my chest. It's important to have a support system. And if you don't have a support system, I'm here. I'll be your support system. Send me your phone number. I'll talk to you on the phone. It is important to have somebody. So I'm going to leave this video here. Just know you are not alone in the battle, and that there is always going to be someone, whether a family member, a friend, or a stranger, who is willing to be there for you. Guys, I love y'all all. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of y'all's day. And if you have any more ideas on what y'all want to see, or what y'all want me to talk about as far as mental health, or just even content, drop it in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Love you guys.